Hello, Twitch TV viewers, and welcome to another Softlock broadcast this Saturday, whether it be evening or midday for you. Folks, my name is Aaron LOL, and I'd like to welcome you all to the EU Regional Edition of our Minutemen tournament. I'm going to be joined by VaporMaid as we hop in game here soon as our tournament draft has been completed. Our teams are ready, and for those of you who are not familiar with our events, our Minutemen tournament is a random /solo queue /pickup game style tournament where a big player base shows up, whatever amount they may be, and we use a bot to draft people by role. Specifically, there should be 2 DPS mains, quote unquote, per team, 2 support mains, 1 tank main, and a flex main per team. Our teams have already been readied up by the bot, and I am here with VaporMaid today as we're going to step on to Watchpoint Gibraltar for our first map of the day. I believe both teams are ready, so we should just be able to hop right in.
Okay, and here we go. We are loading into the game right now.
Okay, so to reiterate, even though our teams are random draft, we do have names for all the teams here today. And it looks like in the blue trunks, whether they are on attack on defense first, we're going to see Team Homemade Pizza. In the red Ryu headband, bandana type thing, whatever clothing apparel you may choose, it's going to be the team called Ninja Squirtles. Not to be confused with the Ninja Turtles, a recently made and failed Hollywood blockbuster that, I don't know, how old is the Ninja Turtles, VaporMaid? Do you remember? I know it was a part of your childhood.
Yeah, it is a part of my childhood, but I also don't really remember. It was like from the early 90s? I'm not quite sure.
I think it's even beyond that. I think it dips into the 80s. But regardless, the Pokemon rendition of the team is now spawning. They're going to be on the attack first, so we will see the Ninja Squirtles on the attack, and it looks like they've picked their team composition. They have all the time in the world to change it on us, though. Interestingly enough, on the defending side here, the defenders have somebody named Heal Beam that's playing Ana, while the other healer is actually playing Mercy. I find that ironic.
Yeah, that's really ironic. You would have guessed that Heal Beam is gonna play Mercy, but apparently they chose against it.
I'm sorry, Ryan.
Our production team has decided to hit us with some facts here that are not Overwatch related. Apparently 1984, older than probably anybody in this production crew or anybody on this stream. It's where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first made their first appearance. Regardless, though, the Ninja Squirtles now have their chance on the attack. The spawn gates are about to open. VaporMaid, myself, would like to thank you guys for showing up to the stream today. This is the first round of our tournament as we start off, and the attackers are actually going to be running something very, very typical. You're right, that wasn't good at all. But regardless, this Pharah so far completely uncontested as she chased down the support kill.
Oh, and there goes the other support.
So Proximity getting a lot done with their team there. That is now 3 kills on the Pharah alone. This Pharah has almost 50% ultimate at this point. She finally goes down, but regardless, the Ninja Squirtles have pretty much just been on the payload the entire point here.
Yeah, and it seems like this is gonna be the first checkpoint already. That was kind of fast.
Yeah, quick cap coming from the attacking team so far. However, the first part of the map, definitely the easiest to cap. And we are going to see a little bit of an engagement as the defenders actually try to keep the Ninja Squirtles off the payload. It is not going to happen, though. The Ninja Squirtles are definitely going to secure the first point here. We'll see if we see the defenders actually fall back into proper position as they're without any supports right now.
Yeah, it was a nice try from the defenders team Reinhardt trying to hammer down them, but sadly the attackers Reinhardt had his shield up and blocked it whole.
I've seen worse. You're going to live.
All right, so Homemade Pizza as a team as a whole is kind of still backpedaling. Their tanks are finally at the front line now. Their Reinhardt has returned. Their Zarya is in a really good high ground spot. Proximity is still basically completely uncontested at the moment. There is a McCree on, or actually, I'm sorry, that's on the Ninja Squirtles. That is not on the Pizza team as the defenders are going to send their Reinhardt in. He is completely by himself and just gets completely punished for it. We now see a 5v6 with the Earth Shatter already spent for the defenders. The Ninja Squirtles have both their Resurrect and their Nano Boost ready. They haven't spent either of them. Their Pharah that's been uncontested the entire game gets a quick, easy double kill with the Rocket Barrage. And the Ninja Squirtles just keep advancing. The one thing that Homemade Pizza has going for them, they have a lot of ultimates to defend with, and a lot of them are actually really good defensive ultimates, like Resurrect and Graviton Surge.
Yeah, right now they are just steamrolling the defenders team because they are dripping in deaths and deaths after a death. Because they really need to stack up right now and just make a strong defense setup to hold them off.
like you said, with their bleeding in, it's actually caused the defenders, Homemade Pizza, actually lose their ultimate advantage that they should have from being in the fight more often and dying. We're going to see a sound barrier pop from the Ninja Squirtles on the attacking side here. And Homemade Pizza, they only have their tanks on the field right now. And that Graviton surge from the Ninja Squirtle is actually very good. It keeps Spartacus in place to receive the Nano Boost. This Nano Boosted Reinhardt gets absolutely nothing done while Kyobos just hangs out on front of the cart and just gets insane Peacekeeper frags over and over. The McCree and the Pharah have really just dished out an insane amount of damage this game. The Ninja Squirtles have done it pretty correctly in just putting their tanks in the front and letting their Pharah and McCree do everything for them. We see 5 out of the 6 members of the attacking team on fire that game.
Yeah, that was a really nice push. They just pushed the whole time. Nobody contested the card. It was an easy push for them.
So I think you saying nobody contested the cart is probably a good way to describe that game. What actually happened there is at pretty much any given point, the Homemade Pizza team kind of seemed to be in groups of 3 and not in groups of 4, 5, or 6. The tanks were either always alone by themselves or the supports were alone, and even the supports were far back enough where a support player should probably be placed no matter what support class they're playing. They just ended up getting picked off by Pharah because nobody was actually denying the Pharah entry into the team. So Homemade Pizza has a chance on the attack now. Whether it comes to highly rated professional teams or bronze tier teams, there is a trend in Overwatch. It seems like most players do better on the attack, except for a few maps, obviously, which we're not going to name. Seems like most players and teams do better on the attack than on the defense. So Homemade Pizza still has a chance here. Be interesting to see where the Ninja Squirtles are going to hold, as they're also actually going to run Mercy on this map, at least for the first part of it.
Yeah, as it seems right now they are going for the typical high ground again, but they are splitting up a little bit, so they are not gonna get all pushed down from the enemy Pharah. But as I just saw, the enemy team doesn't even have a Pharah, which kind of surprised me that the defending team is running a Pharah right now.
Well, that just definitely seems to be Proximity's bread and butter class. Defensive Pharah, about as useful as defensive Genji. You don't see it happen as often, but you know, this game is not too hard to actually get your team to coordinate based on what class picks you run in. We just can assume that Proximity either really wants to play Pharah today or has a lot of confidence in their Pharah play. So we'll see, as Proximity is going to be the first one to start doing the scouting with their rockets here.
And as we see, the attacking team is coming around to corner right now, and the defending team is still holding onto that high ground and letting the attacking team into the choke.
Alright, so Ninja Squirtles finally look like they are ready to hop into the server room. They actually do not have a Lucio in this composition, so they cannot boost their way there, but they're going to hold right in front of the server room now. We see the Reinhardt battle start to ensue here. The attacking team's Reinhardt on Tasteless Pizza or Homemade Pizza has a huge shield advantage at the moment, so the defenders are just trying to let their damage classes get everything done here. The Zarya has been able to stay on the front line for the Ninja Squirtles for quite some time now. This is a very long trade here.
As you can see, Proximity is already doing his work again. He has his ult up right now, and let's see when he is going to use it.
Well, it looks like that attack by the defenders, actually, of all people, from the Ninja Squirtles was kind of shut down. There is a heavy numbers advantage, but that numbers advantage is about to take a big turn. Proximity comes in from behind with an easy triple kill with Rocket Barrage. It looked like the Ninja Squirtles were getting pushed back, but the reason it looked like that is because Proximity was hidden away. Very nice use of one ultimate there to kill half of a team.
Yeah, also the Zarya had a really good action and shielded the Pharah instantly as soon as she popped her ult. It was really good.
So, really good communication so far by the attacking team, actually. Homemade Pizza realizing that after their 3 kills, they really need to group up. Spartacus is going to get a Reinhardt versus Reinhardt pin. That is a huge opening. And now the attacking team actually is in a 4v6. They really need to get moving. We are going to see a resurrection from, who is that, Ninja Squirtles Mercy, and just like that.
That was a nice
Talk
combination.
about that Graviton Surge for us.
That was a really nice combination of the Graviton Surge and the Hammer Down. They were all clustered together. They just got stuck in the Graviton. Reinhardt could use his ult without any problems because the attacking Reinhardt dropped his shield. That was really good.
So now we are actually in the same spot that we were when this game started. Essentially, Ninja Squirtles, the defenders, are almost at their original spawning point where they planned to defend before. They are actually going to let Homemade Pizza up here and retake the high ground. So Ninja Squirtles are going to fall back to in front of the server room, and instead of actually inside the server room, there's a huge ultimate advantage right now, Vapor Maid. That is about the only thing the attacking team has going for them at the moment.
The attacking team is trying to get into the server room to get a little bit of an advantage from flanking, but they're still stuck in there. It's not really happening right now.
Yeah, the Homemade Pizza team is not really showing the aggression they need to. I think they're kind of afraid to start a battle without full health is what it seems like to me, or their healers are maybe just not doing the job for them. But Proximity is still causing a lot of trouble here, and Proximity is basically just on that Mercy. Vapor, the biggest problem we have here is Homemade Pizza has a huge ultimate advantage, and they're slowly letting their defenders catch back up in the ultimate economy.
Yeah, they should really engage right now, but as you can see, Anna and Soldier are going to set up for the Soldier ultimate on the top left high ground, and now they're going in.
All right, well, here comes a tactical visor from Reynolds, it looks like, and it's going to take out two sports right away. This is a great play by the attacking team. Homemade Pizza finally did what they needed to. This entire time, they ditched their payload, though. We did not even mention it. So it looks like they're going to keep a few of their players up front in kind of, you know, the hangar phase before they capture, but this has to be being talked about by the Ninja Squirtles right now because there's going to be another fight here, and now all of a sudden that fight is in favor of the defense team.
Yeah, that was a really good combination of ults, but really, like you said, the problem was nobody pushed them hard.
All right, Graviton Surge. Oh my goodness, Proximity picks up a 5-kill with a Graviton Surge combination. Joim and Proximity win the game with a defense based on no pushing of the payload is what we saw. We are not going to reiterate for that for you guys. The short version, as we'll talk about during the play of the game, is Homemade Pizza took a lot of territory and finally won a team fight, but it was with the payload moving backwards the entire time. By the time they got the payload up to the next checkpoint, the defending team, the Ninja Squirtles, were ready with a huge Graviton Surge and 5-kill Rocket Barrage combination. Nobody's whining in chat about the Mercy play of the game. That's a surprise because that was patched out at one point.
And if you didn't see it also, the Graviton Surge popped in, and as soon as the Graviton Surge popped, the defending Anna nano boosted the Pharah, so she could just easily kill everybody in it. They couldn't even shield it.
Yeah, the Ninja Squirtles just, they definitely had their plays decided, I feel like. They didn't kind of actually hesitate going into the fights. I mean, their end fight was so quick, it was actually like a 3-second fight. Like one person pressed Q in the Graviton the Graviton Surge came like in the middle of the Rocket Barrage from Proximity. Regardless, this means Homemade Pizza is actually... Oh, I had the teams backwards. Homemade Pizza is going to move on into the bracket as they handily win their game on Gibraltar. Our next round of the bracket will actually be a different map, and we will get that to you guys when we get back on stream here. We're going to go ahead and take a break as we corral our next team. It should be a 5-minute break or less, and we'll get back on the stream for you guys. This has been the EU region of Minutemen, and we'll be back with Dorado when we return on the stream.